If you don't know what DORA regulatory technical standards are, then this video is for you. So I'll explain you what is the purpose of these RTSs, where you can find them, and I'll also show you how they look like. And I'll also show you a free DORA course where you can learn more about these regulatory technical standards. So after you watch this video, you'll have a clear idea on where and when to use these RTSs. The purpose of these regulatory technical standards is to specify further details on how DORA needs to be implemented, for example, when it comes to implementation of cybersecurity measures or handling incidents and so on. You can consider these RTSs to be an appendices to DORA. And actually, when you read the text of DORA, very often you will see that DORA itself specifies that further details will be specified in these RTSs. These regulatory technical standards are published on EURLEX website, like DORA itself, and they typically come in two forms: the CDRs, which are Commission Delegated Regulations, and CIRs, which are Commission Implementing Regulations. And you can also find them on Advisera website, where you can easily search through them. Okay, let me show you briefly how these RTSs look like. So there's this CDR 2024-1502. It basically specifies the criteria by which these European supervisory authorities define which ICT third-party service provider is critical. 2024-1505, this one defines how much these critical ICT suppliers need to pay for oversight by these lead overseers. CDR 2024-1772, it specifies the classification criteria for ICT-related incidents and threats. Let's just take a moment to see how it looks like. So basically, these are the articles. Let's open one and see how it looks like. Major incidents. So here basically this CDR defines the criteria, what are the major incidents, as you can see it here. Okay, going back here, 1773, it's about defining the policy for dealing with ICT third-party service providers. So let's take a look at briefly how this one looks like. So as you can see, it has 11 articles. So let's see how this article 6 looks like, due diligence. And basically here you can see that it's specified everything that a financial entity needs to do to assess the viability of a particular potential ICT supplier. So here is this CDR 2024-1774. Basically, it specifies the standards for ICT risk management, methods, processes, policies, and so on. So let's see briefly how this one looks like. This is the biggest regulatory technical standard, so a lot of details here. As you can see, it has more than 40 articles. Let's take a look at one of them. Let's say about asset management policy, Article 4. And here are, for example, the requirements of what kind of identification of assets are necessary. So very detailed. Okay, then there is this CIR 2024-2956. It specifies this register of information for contractual requirements. Let's take a look at this one. So for example, 7 articles. Let's take a look at Article 5. So here you can see the content of this register information. So here you have a detailed specification on what needs to be included. Going further, CDR 2025-295. This is about information to be provided by ICT third-party service provider. This is when these ICT service providers are registering with European supervisory authorities. And 2025-301 is content and time limits for the initial identification of major ICT-related incidents. So basically, this provides more details on incident notifications. So here we can see how it looks like. 7 articles. For example, Article 2 defines what needs to be provided in these initial notifications. I'll show you now how you can learn more about these RTSs. So I'm showing you here this DORA Foundations course, and this is actually a free course. You can sign up for the whole course for free. So when we go for this curriculum tab, here you can see all the lessons that are included in the course. So for example, module 2, there you'll see several lessons. And for example, this one, key elements of ICT risk management framework. It covers DORA Article 6, but also this CDR 2024-1774 Article 3. Same thing for information security policy, CDR 2024-1774, also for identification of business functions and assets, and so on and so forth. As you can see, most of these lessons cover not only DORA, but also relevant CDRs. When we go further for module 3, cybersecurity measures, again, you can see that in many cases there are both DORA and CDRs covered, and in some cases there is a whole lesson only about a particular article in a particular CDR. Let's see some other modules. So let's say managing ICT third-party risk. Here you can see that most references are here for this CDR 2024-1773, but also 1502. Hope this was helpful, and to access this DORA Foundations course that I was showing you, click the link in the description below to sign up for free, and you can go through all the course videos without any payment, and we charge only for the exam if this is something that you're aiming at. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel not to miss any of my new videos, and I publish videos every week. Thanks for watching!